2, 3. Here we are. Wait, can we turn this a little bit?
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, wait.
I know what you're trying to do.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
wait.
I
Yes.
want to tag, yes. Hi, everybody. Yes, I do want to tag Anthony.
But I put your name in it, though.
Yeah, but it's like you want to make sure.
Oh, okay.
It's like, are you sure? Or did you, miss your fingers?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Hi.
For those watching the replay, this is my friend Anthony, but I'm going to wait until people show up, actually, before I say hi. Mm-hmm. Oh, there is somebody here. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Roland.
What's up, Roland?
What's up? Hey, Dave. Dave, what's up? Look what we're doing. Look what you and Jordan inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jumping on this train.
Woo, woo. Hey, Kelly. Here we go, Jeffrey. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. Melissa in the house. Oh my God, Melissa, this morning, I was thinking about you. I was hearing your voice in my head saying, what your message the other day where you're like, yeah, we all right. But your voice, they were out having a good time without me.
Right.
Well, I had my own self-care day, but they had 8 martinis.
Oh, wow.
And they were about to go dancing.
Each?
And
I was going to say each.
No.
All I need is 1.
No, I think it was 4 each for the 2 of them. But then I could just hear her voice. Yeah, we all right. And they took Uber. We're all good.
Yeah.
So now that a bunch of you guys are here and we were running a little late with some technical difficulties and I don't love the light on your phone, but that's all right. No, it's good.
Yeah.
I know, it's good.
Turn it.
No. All right, so this guy right here, small world. Mm-hmm. Oh, Melissa says lunch turned into dinner. Yeah, they had martinis for dinner.
Yeah.
This is my friend Anthony. So funny, long story is, I'll try to hold back what we said we weren't going to talk about. But he and I met, we worked at corporate years ago. Years ago, because I've been gone for 10 years now. Mm-hmm. I've been gone for 10 years.
Right, but it was even before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I worked there for 12 years.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's how we connected. And then we reconnected on social media and come to find out, we're in similar paths as far as, mindset and personal development and... Yeah. So this guy right here wrote a couple of books, so I just stalked him a little bit, and I was like, we should talk. And
yeah, and then we did, and here we are. So, and the thing is, we have so much to talk about that we probably won't even get to, to scratch the surface in this hour, but it's going to be good, so.
Yeah. So who's here? Rachel, hi. Rachel's here. I want to say hi to everybody. Hey, Rose.
Take care of this?
Oh, yeah, I should have gone. Hit, I don't know, hit it.
No. Okay.
Hit it, go like this.
Okay.
All right, so quiet mode turned on. Oh, no. You don't have any friends here.
No one's coming on.
Okay.
Okay, what does that say?
Meet my friends. Meet my friends.
Guys.
Hi, Laura. Laura's here. She's awesome. Jennifer's here. Awesome people. Jessica Carlson. All right, so we're going to talk. Mm-hmm. We're going to go.
Okay,
let's
just do it. What do you want to talk about?
Relationships.
Yep.
Relationships. Hi, Laura. Mm-hmm. Relationships. Oh, wait, what's it say? Broadcast interrupting and here and there. Crap, Ola.
Oh, are you using the Wi-Fi?
No. I think I turned Wi-Fi off. All right, hold on, people. Let me check my phone. This is going to be weird. Hold on. Hey, Kevin. I was going to invite you, or did I already? Glad you're here. All right, I'm just... All right.
Well,
Melissa, keep me posted. Will you keep me posted?
Yep.
Oh, you've got a friend here.
Well, if anything... Hey, Louise. If anything happens, I could just then...
Go to his page.
Right. Go to my page.
Can you share it? Share it now.
Okay, how do I do that? Just tell me how to do it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, right here. I don't really know.
Okay, wait.
I think that's why I brought my laptop.
Okay.
That's all right. I'm tagged, so you can always, it's going to show up on my page anyway.
Oh, wait.
We're good.
Bring them on camera.
No, we don't want to bring it in.
Okay, no,
Step back.
Right.
See, Jen went over to your page already. Unless you're friends with Jennifer already. Do you know Jennifer?
Yeah, I think we're friends.
Okay, cool.
How's the connection on my side?
Yeah, Jen, let me know. Thank you.
Okay. Lisa, what's up? My sister's on.
Oh, cool.
Oh, she was on.
Hey, John. It's going. Okay, cool.
Okay, we're on.
Relationships.
Yes.
What else did we say we're going to talk about? Fear. Distractions. Mm-hmm. And all.
The other.
The shit in between.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot. Especially when it comes to relationships.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think with relationships, too, it's we want these amazing relationships, but we never take the time to build our relationship with ourselves.
Right.
And because of that, our relationships with others may not be exactly how we would like them to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
How I feel about it is exactly the same page as you. And what I know is relationships are the catalyst to our own growth, right? So what we do is we see in another what we're not able to see within ourselves. So when we get into these relationships and we're like, this is crap, this is hell, this is like not going how I think it should be, then we got to take a look at, okay, what's being mirrored back to me? Is it being mirrored back to me some limiting beliefs that I have about myself, that I'm not lovable, or I can't trust life, or I can't trust people, or I drive fear and lack that things will end, and then I'm walking on eggshells inside the relationship, or always looking like, are they cheating, or...
Right.
So, right?
I think, especially like if I look back at my past relationships, which trust me, they were not always the best, but they were the most helpful in my own growth. Like looking at all of those, what did I learn from all of those? Like, what did those relationships bring out that I needed to work on? I think, especially, people don't realize, like, the things that we're attracted to in people are the things that we might actually be lacking in ourselves. And if we avoid looking at that and building that in ourselves, then we actually end up resenting that in the other person. So you know what I mean? So like if someone is very outgoing, we're attracted to that. It's like, oh wow, I just love that quality about them. And we're not really like that. And as a relationship goes on, this resentment might actually build up. We're like, they're always like doing all this stuff and I'm not, and we don't kind of align anymore. But maybe it's something that you really want to be like.
Exactly.
That you just need to develop and work on and like grow within yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So it's like the reason why resentment comes up is that, and this is where I'm like all about unfuck your mind, right? So if you can understand what's happening, you can unfuck your mind and create different experiences.
Right.
And so when you're recognizing that I've got resentment against this person that like I was attracted to, then it's really a mirror of your own self, resenting yourself from holding back what you know is already within you. It's within you.
Yeah.
But you're holding it back. And you're projecting it on the other person.
Yeah.
And then so that's why these relationships, I feel, are catalysts to growth. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot of shit, but at the same time, it's like gifts. Shit gifts.
100%. Like it's definitely Christmas morning, like every day. But it's like, it's taking the time to recognize that and to be aware of it, which like, honestly, like, how many of us even really do? Like in the moment, we don't even think about that. Like, oh, wait a second, this is something to do with me. Let me stop and look at that. We don't.
Yeah. No,
so
I do. I do. And where I sometimes find the challenge is that because I'm like, all right, there's some like shit here to deal with. Like, I'm going to take I'm going to take responsibility for what's mine.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let's work it out between us. And like, I find that sometimes many people aren't, able to hold that space for themselves, never mind the relationship, because there's me, the other person, and the relationship.
Totally, yep.
Right.
I get it, yeah.
And so that's where I sometimes feel the challenge is that people are like, just not, because what happens when we have this chaos inside a relationship, we get triggered, and then it's like a wound. And so we like want to push away or like go lick our own wound.
Right.
Right. And then what we need is the courage to be able to look at that and then come to the other person and work it out so you can stop repeating the patterns.
And it also comes down to being vulnerable to be able to even talk about that. Like,
vulnerability. Laura was talking about vulnerability the other day, I think.
Yeah.
Too.
But like not just vulnerability meaning
shit
like
gift.
You have to, the shit gift. I love that. That was actually pretty good. Excuse me. But I'm not talking about like vulnerability, like sitting there crying and stuff, just being able to maybe having the hard discussion or saying like something isn't working and you don't like it, and how can we create something better together? It's not about blaming anyone. It's not about excuses. It's about curiosity. There's no judgment. I mean, we have our own experiences and our own perception. So yeah.
Well, that's what you say is like, we can be inside this relationship and have this literally just happened to me. It's like, actually within a, not a romantic relationship. And that's like inside, like what I'm coming from is not only romantic relationships,
everything.
But like all
friendships,
family,
and especially family. Like family brings out, I think, so much of this shit gifts, right?
Oh my God.
So,
I'm like literally shaking right now.
it resonates with you?
Yeah. Well, because that's what I'm moving through some of that right now. And I don't even know what I said. I lost my train of thought.
But you said it's something that just happened to you recently.
Yeah.
It wasn't an intimate relationship. It was just was it friendship.
It was no. It was family, and so we had the same, like we had the experience together.
Yep.
But my perception and what my wounding was projecting and reflecting was not the same as what this other person's was.
Right.
And so it's like, that's where it's like these, we're coming at like from two different perspectives. Neither one of us is hearing the other, because we're coming from wounded spaces, right? Because when you're coming from a grounded space and you can see the other person is wounded or triggered or their stuff is theirs, then there's some healing opportunities. Because I don't think like it always has to be a shit gift. I really feel like,
right. Which is now, that is the term now, right? That's that's
hashtag, yeah, right? Oh my God, Melissa, we're gonna put that. Yeah, Melissa's my hashtag queen.
But I think, like you were saying, like it's not understanding the other person's perspective. Which I mean, I can tell you from just recent experiences, like getting out of my own way to see my reaction to the situation. Like, oh shit. I didn't see it from their side and all the things that they're dealing with in the moment. And here I am taking it so personally.
Yes.
And it's like, what is that really about? Like, is my reaction to it valid? Or do I need to take a step back and like, what's going on within me and understand the situation, whatever it is, as a whole? Because I think we take things personally like that. Like we assign meanings to everything. So it's like,
oh my God, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's like, what did they just say to me? What does that mean? And all these assumptions in our head and all of these, like we jump to like all these different conclusions and it's like, can be completely like bullshit.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like the meaning is insane. Like yesterday, so this is where it's like, I still could have the story, but I was recognizing it for the story and not going down the path of the meaning because I have this self-awareness practice, right? It's like, sometimes it does totally, it can just totally take you over sometimes. But if you can get to the facts, just stay to the facts, not like this has happened because ...
Yeah, but I think it's challenging that because what happens, like, who do we talk to the most ever in our life? The person in our head. Exactly, right. So it's like, when you hear that person talking to you, what are they saying and is it true? So it's like, okay, is my reaction to it? But listen, we're all human. Like, shit happens. We get pissed off. We get sad. We get whatever it is. Right. But it's in recognizing it. And like, you know what? Wow. I didn't mean to react like that. I apologize. And like, owning up to that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like, just take your responsibility for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's when you don't. It's when you like just blame it on the other person. That's just like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So...
Yeah, because that just continues the cycle and the pattern, and understanding that, relationships I feel like are divinely orchestrated. And that's why I've surrendered. I mean, I've just been like, oh, I'm going to reach out to Jordan and Anthony and I'm doing these videos. And, this is how I meet a lot of the people in my life, is just being in flow and listening. And so knowing that these relationships come together for some kind of reason and purpose, and if we can like understand that the chaos and the the challenges and the fears that come up are for us, they're for our evolution, they're for us to learn how to open up our hearts, learn how to trust love. Like, what are some of the things that you learned about in relationships, if it's not too personal?
Oh, I mean, I can tell you right now, it's just my own, like, I had spent some time just doing my own thing and just working on myself. But then once you get back into another relationship, that's like, that truly is when like, oh wow, I didn't realize that shit's still there. Okay, what is it about? Like, it's still insecurities. I mean, it's still, it could be jealousy, it could be neediness, it could be, there's a lot of things. I don't think that we ever really get to a point, and maybe there are people that do, but I think there will always be things that kind of bring it up. And it's acknowledging it.
No, I'm going to say stop. I'm going to say like, no. Like, because because if we have the belief that there's always something that's going to be, something that's always going to come up, something that's always going to need to be fixed, then we're always going to have that experience. But if we understand that relationships are the catalyst to our growth, then we just know that it's like part of the process versus like, all right, something's always going to come up, something's always going to happen. Because like you follow what I'm saying as far as
right.
like...
Well, right. So it's like you recognize it and you learn to be better from it. But I think like even when you work on that, I think another person will come into your life right when you need them,
Right.
to show you, oh wait, you maybe still have to work on that a little bit more, or
Right.
maybe there's something that you.
Or totally get you, but I push edges. Is that
Bring
edges of consciousness is like the what if it's like you've worked through like all of your stuff,
Right.
and you've then what you do is you start to pull in people into your life that are experiences of joy and play and pleasure. It's like now because you've cleared out your stuff,
Yeah,
you've let your
right.
walls down, open your heart. Now you're developing this heaven on earth experience, this playground of relationships versus the shit prize. I don't know.
No,
What do you
it was
feel?
a shit gift, right?
Shit gift, thank
That's right.
you.
I was gonna
Shit
say,
gift,
don't,
yeah.
like, that's what we're
That's
sticking with. So yeah.
Shit gift, right? That makes sense.
You know, I can tell you that. I mean, I am thankful for all of my relationships, good, bad, whatever the meaning I assigned to them back then. They were all gifts
Yeah.
because
yeah,
I've grown
for
so
sure.
much from them, and
Yeah.
even the ones I have now, I'm growing so much from them because I can recognize so much stuff like quicker.
Yeah. Totally.
That yeah, no, it's improving just my current relationships and the ones that are now coming into my life. But
Yeah.
I think being vulnerable, and it's like being the thing that you want to see in others.
Yep.
I think it's if I want to be able to communicate with people, I need to be. If I want people to communicate with me, I need people to communicate with them, or be honest, or be open, or just be able to express how I feel without any outcome, without any expectation, without any of this need from someone. Right? It's like
Right.
here I am.
Right.
Like,
Right. So this is an excellent point going back to, so like what you just said is like having a need from someone. So the same point goes to is having any kind of need and even pulling people into your life that are going to help you clear your shit out.
Right.
So that's what I want to go back to. So it's like, there's a piece here for you. I'm wondering,
Bring it.
because it's like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm still like.
so how do you feel about when I'm saying to you is that there could be a point where you come to where your relationships stop having to be your shit points, your pain points, and that you get to just start like enjoying like the growth ends, and it's like all about experiencing.
I'm getting to that point where I don't really see them as shit gifts anymore, but more like, this is so cool that I'm learning more about myself than I ever knew before.
Yeah.
But I feel like you do that through connecting with people.
Yep.
Like together we become stronger.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, no, I mean, I'm at that point where like, I can see all the amazing gifts that I'm just learning about myself and
Yeah.
with interactions with people,
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think them as shit gifts anymore, but I think we started there.
Right. No.
But we progressed,
But I mean, I think my point is and where I come from and my perspective, it's like what I've had as far as my experience goes is through my learning and through the relationships and like mirroring back to me and like looking at my projections of shadow on others and my wounds, looking outside myself, I have been drawn in, and that's how I've learned about myself through those experiences. And now I am having more play and pleasure and support and community with people that aren't triggering, that aren't needing to teach me. Like I get to look at other people and see the amazingness in me through them, like their leadership, their playfulness, their silliness, their expression of love.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to drill in, but I feel
I think you got it. I think you got it.
Okay.
But let me ask you.
Did you guys get it? I want to hear what you guys are getting from this.
You got it, right?
Go ahead.
But I want to know, like, what do you feel your biggest fear was you had to like work through to move past like a certain point? Like, was it this fear that you weren't enough, or like fear of being judged, or other people's opinions, or I think fear it just holds us back. Like if you can just imagine, like, what would you do if you didn't have any fear? Like, what would be your life? What would your life be like, and what would your relationships be like if fear was not a factor?
Right.
I think that's
a good TV show name.
Yeah.
Fear was not a factor. Maybe that's
right.
what.
Isn't
Maybe that's what we'll start calling this.
Fear Factor is a TV show. We'll have to just rename it.
Yeah. Fear is not a factor. Well, here's the thing. There's only fear or love. That's it. It just boils down to everything. There's either love or there's fear. And it's like, what are you choosing? Right? So are you choosing lack? Are you choosing limitation? Are you choosing, so it's all under there. Or are you choosing like, if full on unconditional love of self, surrendering. Well, the surrender, does that go under love? Just, it's love or fear. Keep it simple.
But then getting to that love, like self-love. I know we were talking about that. Self-love, like what does that even look like for people? Do people even know what that really means or understand what it is for themselves? We talk about self-love all the time, like you hear it, read about it in books, you hear about it in videos, but like what does it mean? Like what does it mean for you?
Yeah.
And even for me, like I'm still learning about what I need to love myself in the most positive, beneficial way. Where I'm not looking to like leech it off from other people, right? Because I mean, you can feel when you meet those people that are kind of just like energy suckers.
Yep.
So yeah, I think self-love is huge, but yet we're not really sure what it actually looks like. Like what does it look like for you?
Well, I want to just finish with, like, I'll come back to that in 1 second, but what you just said about, so the thing that we are looking for another outside of ourselves, this is where it's like, so taking a look at the projection that you're putting onto another person, right? So you have some kind of neediness that you're projecting onto another person. So then you have to look at, okay, what is it that I am asking from another that I need to give to myself?
Right.
Because no one can really fulfill something within us. We are whole already, and so when we come together with another, we either see our own gaps or we see our own wholeness reflected. And that's what I was getting to, the point of like, when you shift all your stuff, you're experiencing wholeness through others.
Yeah.
A reflection of your wholeness through others. So self-love for me is just continuing to develop that relationship with myself in the sense of being present, listening to that voice that goes through my head. Really creating like the space and attention that I would want from another, creating that for myself, taking the time out, like listening to what my needs are, are they rest? Are they active? Are they connection? Is it, ice cream?
And it could be, what's your favorite flavor?
Oh my God. I have a lot of flavors, but I tell you, I totally binged out on, Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia last night.
Okay. That's fair.
What about you?
I'll stick with mint chocolate chip any day. But I'm talking about the green kind.
No.
I'm not talking about the white. There's two different kinds. There's mint chocolate chip. There's a white kind and there's a green kind. I'll take the green kind any day.
Oh my God. All right. I want to know, like, give us some likes or hearts. Does anybody else out there like, no, that's not going to give us any likes about mint chocolate. Is it chocolate chip?
Mint chocolate chip.
No. Who likes Cherry Garcia? Do a heart. If you like mint chocolate chip, do a like.
Wait. That's not fair. That's like not.
You got a like. Ooh, and a heart. We got 1 vote each. Melissa, mint chip. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got some hearts here. Thank you. Oh, Laura too.
Hey, you
Must
gotta
be green.
go green, right? It's gotta be green.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey.
Right.
Melissa's voting for both. She's so cute. All right, listen, I want to see what you guys have to say here. Melissa had a comment here. No, Zeph had a question. She said, is this a question, Zeph? It says, what is fear not a factor? I don't know if you were just hashtagging us or...
Oh, for the TV show?
For our TV show.
Actually, yeah, the weekly show.
The weekly show, yeah. Melissa says, self-awareness leads us to know what we need to choose or how we need to respond.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of a break from that comfort zone, but once you see it as a gift, that's a good point, you can let go faster and move on to what is needed in terms of relationship.
Good point, the comfort zone.
Mic drop, Melissa. Right. Yeah, that was good. It really is. It's what you oohed on and I wanted to touch on was the comfort zone piece. Right? Because it's comfortable sometimes to stay inside your own little bubble of pain and push it all out and point the other finger.
Right. But is it really that comfortable? That's the thing. Is it really that comfortable? No, it's not. We're just used to it.
Well, you're used to it, and you're afraid of that vulnerability that you were talking about earlier of like, okay, I actually have to like share that I feel hurt by something, or I have to share that I had this wound, or like sometimes we can't see our own stuff, and we need to have that open conversation with the other person in order to help cultivate within what the truth is. Right. So sometimes you're going and you're in that hurt space and having to open yourself up, and it's easier to stay inside that comfort zone.
And to stuff it down. And think it's going to go away. And what happens? You know what happens. It doesn't go away. It just
repeats and repeats.
And bubbles up, and then eventually you'll just explode.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had past relationships where I stuffed it down. And then eventually it's like shaking that soda bottle, right? You keep shaking it. At some point it's going to explode. And when it does, it's not pretty. Like, it's just not, it's not a good situation.
Well, it's not. And on an emotional level and even on a physical level, right? So I'm an energy medicine practitioner. So I understand how the emotions are manifest inside the physical body, because the physical body is the representation of the subconscious mind. And so when we're stuffing down things, it manifests not only on the outer expression of emotions, but on the inner and physical expression of disease. Aches, pains, tightness, tension, anxiety, depression, some of the emotional stuff too.
Right.
So yeah, it's like you want to not stuff it down.
No, but then it's getting stepping out of the comfort zone, embracing the fear, and realizing like after you take that first step, the second step isn't that hard, and the third step is even easier. And it's like it's just building the momentum.
Yeah.
But it's just that first initial step is like the hardest because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know people's reactions, and it's letting go of people's reactions too.
Oh, big time.
I think it comes down to I know for myself, like people pleasing. Always trying to make the other person happy, even when we are not. Like, we are willing to take on more pain in order for someone else to be happy. But in the end, it's like, what is that really doing? Like, how can we be the best version of us?
Right.
And within the context of the relationship, even.
Right. That's an excellent point, right? So you're really not doing a service to your partner or yourself if you're stuffing your own stuff down. Because, I'm actually going to be talking about this in the next group that I'm doing, You Are the Medicine, like the shadow piece. So when you're stuffing down the parts of you that you're rejecting, right, your vulnerability, your neediness, your insecurities, you're also stuffing down the best parts of you, your gifts, your heart, your love, your compassion.
Right.
And it's like when you face parts of it, when you face all parts of it, all parts of you are available for integration and expression.
Right. Well, it's just like, they give you medicine for anxiety or whatever it is to numb those like feelings and emotions, but then it also numbs all the other good stuff. Right. So it's just like you take a drug to numb this part of you to feel better, but then it numbs all the other good stuff for you to experience within you. So, yeah. I think emotions, I often get asked like, how do I turn off my emotions, or how do I become emotionless? I'm like, why would you do that? That's like Spider-Man giving up a Spidey sense. Like, that's like, I love my emotions. I mean, yeah, there are some that maybe aren't as desirable as others at times, but they're fucking awesome. That's like your navigation system.
It is.
It's like, it's pretty cool. But,
I love that whole analogy about, Spidey sense. It's like,
right.
And every time, like, we go through these growth spurts, right? So there's a big major growth spurt happening right now, a lot of clearings coming up, interactions within relationship, and actually what's happening is like these big life decisions kind of opening up where people have to take a look. And when we really do the thing, do the work, go within, on the other side, it's like there's even more superpowers and availability of ourselves and confidence, and it's like getting through that fear piece where it says I'm going to be annihilated if I be with any of this discomfort or face or go to that relationship and have the conversation.
Right. But I think it's when you do get to that point where you step into it a little bit and you don't sit with it long enough. And then we talked about distractions, right? And then what do we do? Let me grab the phone and look on social media. Of course, I mean, I don't know about you, but that makes me feel even more shitty when I go on social media looking at other people's stuff. But just or emotional eating or binge watching or whatever it is. We don't take enough time to sit within the discomfort to really understand it before we start reaching for distractions. So we really never get a chance to work through it, in solitude or just within ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we're looking for the next thing to temporary bandage over it.
Yeah. And it's like there's also shame around not feeling good. You know what I mean? So it's almost that's even a part of the distraction, is that there's this uncomfortable feeling coming up, right? And then you go to the distraction, but then there's also I see a layer of shame around not feeling 1,000% or even having the feelings that you are. And it's having lots of self-compassion.
Right.
Right?
Not beating yourself up in every instance that you think something is wrong or that you did something bad. Or just letting go of that. I feel like people are hanging on to past shit. And they're bringing it into the present moment. And it's already heavy, right? It was heavy back then. It's even heavier now.
Right.
And it's affecting our current situation.
Yeah.
Or our current relationship or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There was something, well, Zeph, I just wanted to circle back. She just had an aha moment about the medications numbing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I posted the other day about I mean, medications are super supportive, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm from a perspective of holistic, and that we have to look at the entirety, right? So even inside a relationship, so we're looking at the relationship, we're looking at ourselves, but then also, looking at ourselves as a whole, right? Like, how are my other relationships in my life? How is my own personal life? How am I fulfilled on my own without this? Right? Without this thing. So we don't want a relationship to become a distraction either, right?
Well, and that's the thing, like, how many people can just honestly say, you know what? I'm fulfilled just being with myself.
I can.
Right.
I mean, I want to, like, for me, it's like I'm wanting to attract the counterpart that is already whole within himself, so that when we come together, this experience could even be more amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, relationships should be enhancing your life.
Yeah.
Not trying to complete something that you feel like you're missing.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing Zeph said also was about things taking time. Do I want to go there? Hold on. So were we finished what we were just saying about enhancing? Yeah, enhancing. Okay. But Zeph said things can take time. And I wanted to just address that, is that when we are shifting on a level, like when our consciousness will shift, right? And then our energy body will shift, right? Because we hold the energetic patterns within ourselves of these thoughts, these beliefs, these fears, these wounds, these insecurities. So as we're shifting them on a consciousness level, they shift on an energy body level and then on a physical body level.
Right.
So sometimes it takes the body a little bit longer to adjust to where our consciousness is. So we have to, like, instead of like looking for those distractions, know that it's a process.
Definitely.
Right? Okay.
And trust the process.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. I think
when I'm forgetting that, I'm going to call you and be like, remember you said I'm supposed to enjoy this?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's awesome about support too, right?
Yes.
Having people that you can, like, be yourself with.
Yeah.
But just getting back to what I was about to say was, like, expectations. Like, we expect certain things to happen within a time frame, and then when it doesn't, we're not happy.
Yeah.
But it's like letting go of the expectations, because it might not happen like tomorrow, but it will if you just keep going.
Yeah.
And don't give up.
Yeah. Well, but what is it that you're wanting to happen?
Right. Well, that could be, and that's for whoever wants to.
But see, that comes from this space of lack, right? Because it's like, I'm not having something, so something must happen. So, but what about, like, just being in the very now present moment? I mean, unless you're talking about, like, creating a baby or something, I guess that's like.
Excuse me. Yeah. Well, yeah, no. If it's not coming out in 9 months, well, then there's an issue. But that's pretty much like set in stone, right?
Yeah. But, like, if we're talking about relationship milestones, like, I'm feeling like that should be tossed out the window.
Totally.
Yeah. It's just like, so what do you mean by, like, wanting something now? Oh, like being single and then wanting to, like, be in a relationship?
Right. Or just, you might be ready for a relationship,
right,
and it's just not happening in the time frame that you want.
Got it. Yeah.
Letting go of that.
Yes.
That's all that I mean by that.
Yeah,
it's like letting go of that and just, being present. Like, it'll happen, and when it does, it's going to be awesome. But I think we just get hung up on, like, wanting something to happen in a certain time frame. Whether it's
right. Well, because we've been programmed like that, right? With, like, Disney movies and the princess.
Oh my God, let's not even. We're gonna save that for like another one.
But that's the point. It's like, So I mean, I remember when my relationship ended. I thought I had fucked up my life, because at that point I was 33 and all of my friends were already married and had kids, and here I am.
We could talk about comparison too.
Oh yeah. Well, but to stay on the point of like timelines, because now I'm like, all right, like I missed the boat, I missed the thing, and it's just like, no,
defined by who though?
I am so much, oh yeah, society or Disney, but like I am like a fine wine, I just get better and better.
But it's right, it's the definitions that are like kind of pushed on us, that we just kind of believe, and you were talking about beliefs before. It's like we all get to choose what we want to believe.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And how many people actually can see that?
Yeah, well, that's the whole part of this evolution of consciousness. This is the whole part of like what we're doing inside of these relationship dynamics is like, you know, starting to get to the core of what our beliefs are, and then starting to understand that I do have choice. I do have a choice in shifting perspective.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
How are we doing on time?
Comparison is lethal. What others what others' expectations are, 100%,
Right.
and our expectations and comparison, our expectations of others, expectations of ourselves, right? I mean, we always get to
Expectations
choose.
people put on us.
Oh yeah, that's
a heavy one.
That's a hard one. But then, so it's like if another puts it on us, what are we projecting, right? So that's where it's like, all right, if someone's projecting on me some expectation, you know, what am I making mean about it? Because somebody can have an expectation of me and I could be totally detached, but if I get triggered by it.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's like when you become aware of that, you can be like that stuff that you put on so the water just runs off.
Yeah.
Like on your car,
Yeah.
like your windshield or something.
Rain-X, yeah.
Right. So it's like
Yeah.
they could put that on you, and you know, like you don't have to. It does not define you
Right.
in any way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Zeph says
I
I am, yeah, how are we doing with time? Zeph says I
10
am
minutes
fine wine. Oh, hold on. Sorry about my finger in the camera here. Melissa says I've learned when you turn your energy to yourself and love you, you get in alignment to start attracting what you want.
Right.
Boom. Like totally. I mean, I talk about this in the sense of like a radio station, right? So if you're, you know, seeing life reflect back to you, you know, I don't know, a talk show, and you really want to be rocking it out with like some hardcore dance music,
Right.
You got to tune your station into like, I don't know, 99.1. And then what happens when you show up at 99.1, you start like, you're now dancing with similar vibrations that are also like rocking it out. Yeah.
And all those other ones that you didn't want kind of just go away. So
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's the thing, is that I don't think there's ghosting. Like, I really don't. I mean, and I know on a practical level. So the term ghosting is when you're kind of talking to somebody and then like you just stop talking. I think you just vibe out. I think that you just vibe out.
Well, we're gonna start going. I mean, I think we should save like the dating aspect
yeah.
and all like
Oh,
ghosting
yeah.
and all that stuff. We can save that for another.
Okay.
Because that's like.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't know if Dave's still on, but we talked about doing that too, or I talked about it with Jordan. I mean, we can have some good conversations as far as like what, like this whole dating and online dating and the.
What does that really mean? Paradox of choice. Even talk about like how there's so many options that we don't ever really give
Right.
like our all to one.
Right.
Like, oh, this isn't working out. Oh, okay, we're done. Next.
Can we just talk about that? It's like even inside like current relationships. So outside of like dating, I mean outside of like the dating piece, like inside relationship, like I see even in the real world where when these challenging times come up, people are quick to like push away and say next.
Right.
Right? And it's because there's so many options, you know.
Yeah.
But what happens is we end up just attracting the next person to bring out the same.
Right, like you said, keeps repeating the pattern.
Situation.
Right.
Right.
Because we don't look at what's going on there.
Right.
And we just like, next, okay, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep meeting the same type of guy, the same type of girl? Well, you got to stop and take a look at yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done your work? Like, have you really taken a look at what this relationship is showing you about you? That's really it. I mean, that's how we can even like just like simplify this whole thing, is that any of the discord, any of the shit prize that you're present gift, shit
That your
gift.
inner child is looking for.
Yeah.
We didn't really get into
I
like the inner
know.
child stuff.
All right,
We-
that's
we-
show
we-
number 4. I think we'll do inner child stuff. I do
Yeah.
want to do an in-person inner child healing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it would be really cool. It came up in the last full moon energy healing thing I did in Southington. So
All right. Do you have any last final words that you want to like share with the fine people that are here? Let me see what my loves have said. Kellyanne Fine Wine. Oh yes.
Hashtag.
Thank you. Hashtag. Kelly Jean says she'll listen to the replay. Hey, Steph Marie. So, well, I'm just going to kick in because I'm already talking. Is that my final points I just want to say is that taking the opportunity to look at what the relationship is reflecting back to you, not only what your beliefs are about yourself and life, but also what are you projecting on the other that you're rejecting within yourself.
Nice.
That's where some shadow work is coming in. And we are in Scorpio season right now, and I call it shadow season. So it's almost like this energy that we're in is that we're getting the opportunity to really see the aspects of ourselves that we projected onto others, and have the opportunity to integrate it within ourselves, and integrate the shadow, but also integrate all of those gifts that we talked about that are under the surface.
Right.
And
just,
then,
I was gonna say, just to build on that, like, understanding that, but then also being able to step back and see it from the other person's perspective too, to see what they're going through too. So maybe not necessarily taking it personally, the way that they are responding or reacting to us, and also like being okay, like to be afraid, and like it's okay, but just leaning into that. Don't avoid it. Like lean into that. Like what you look at will disappear. What you avoid will just continue to keep building. Just trying to see from the other person's perspective, and then embracing the fear, or my two lead points behind right there.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for your
Oh
comment.
my gosh, yeah.
Was that fun?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah. If you only saw us beforehand when we were trying to get everything up, that was actually, we should do like a bloopers. Oh, we didn't record that though.
Yeah, we should have had like a camera watching us. So
All right.
That was
next
funny.
time I'll bring in the camera crew.
Yeah. No, we should have a live audience next time. We should like do this somewhere we could just like interact with like real people. Thanks for the love hearts. Thank you.
Take Q&A right from the live audience.
Right? How cool would that be?
Oh, I don't know. I'm feeling something. I'm feeling something growing here. I think this could be the TV show. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, and I love Jeff says it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. It's only hard if we make it. It's only hard if we make it hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
It's only a problem if we think it's a problem.
Right. Yes. And don't start searching for the. Jeff says it doesn't need to end. I totally said a whole different comment.
Oh. Right.
Zeph says she will. I love that with an audience. Call me when you want to do that. Oh yeah, because Zeph has a space actually. Ooh, Zeph. Awesome. I love it how it's coming together.
Okay.
Anyway, so check out my friend Anthony here.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Just going with the flow, and if you want to know more about either of us, make sure you like connect with our pages, and you'll probably see us soon. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for interacting. And if you watch the replay and you have any questions or you want to add, I will come back and check on all the comments.
All right, guys.
See you later.
Bye.